What are you doing?
Where have you been?
This boy.
Yeah. Would you throw me under the bus, essentially?
100%.
I'd be like,
I'd murder you for real. This is so bad.
and you'd be looking,
Shut up, Rory. Anne Hathaway is my queen.
I'm faithful.
Like, I know.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Media Couple.
Hello, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, so amazing to have you all here and have you all back with us. How have you been, Sophie?
Yeah, I've been good. I've been very good. We've had a bit of a busy week, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
But it's been good. We've been watching the Traitors.
Oh,
Watched the final of that.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, you and I had differing opinions. You didn't love the seer being brought in at the very end.
Yeah, I just felt like that power. I feel like they hyped it up a lot, the power of the seer, which I guess it is.
Oh, by the way, spoilers.
Oh, yes.
Spoilers.
Good shout. Yeah.
So,
spoiler alert.
If you've not watched The Traitors yet, I mean, what are you doing? But if you've not watched The Traitors yet, then don't listen any further because we're going to talk about it.
Yes.
But yes, go on. So the seer.
Yeah, I think I just thought that, I don't know, like I thought it was, they made it up to be like a really like a bigger deal than I thought it was.
Yeah, they really hyped it up, didn't they?
Yeah, like it just sort of, when Frankie brought Charlotte into the room and they had their dinner and stuff, I sort of really was anticipating a bit more than what I got from it. I think I thought that Charlotte had to admit to everybody that she was a traitor. Yeah,
you did. But also, I think, I liked that they gave the seer power.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting because I think the format, you kind of, like, we've done it now. We've seen it. It's like we know what's going to come. However, when Frankie chose Charlotte, I was a bit like, oh, this kind of condemned both of them now.
Yeah. I mean, you actually loved it at that time. You like jumped off the sofa and you were like, oh my God, she's chosen Charlotte.
Yeah, but then the final episode, I was like, but you just know that both Frankie and Charlotte aren't going to get to the end. So the jeopardy kind of ends.
That is true, actually.
And
they're both doomed.
Yeah. And then I just kind of felt bad because I was watching all the faithfuls vote out other faithfuls and it just was a bit like, that's not really, I don't know, it just wasn't quite as fun. And I really didn't like watching Charlotte lie so heavily at that final round table to Frankie.
Got a little bit uncomfortable, didn't it? I mean, just because, I think that's the thing. I think the producers of the show obviously wanted to add something to it. That's why they introduced the seer, and they wanted to create that moment around the table where it was like, you have to lie for your life, literally.
Like, I don't blame Charlotte. It's not like I'm like, Charlotte is a bad person for doing that. It's the game. But I think the way the game set her up to have to lie in that way, I just kind of was sitting there and I was like, it felt different.
Yeah.
It was like a different kind of lying because you could just see how hurt Frankie was because she knew she wasn't lying.
Yeah.
And so you kind of felt like it was like who can lie better, and it was who was willing to go further with their lie and who was willing to really stick it out. And it kind of put me on my seat in a bit of a, I don't know, I felt a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I guess in a weird way, ultimately, like you touched on earlier, it got out another faithful.
Yeah.
You know, Frankie was removed. She made it all the way to the end. And like, Jake literally said, yeah, but why would Charlotte say that about you? When they were around the fire pit, like, it's like, why would Charlotte say that about you? And she's just there like, what more can I say? And I guess it makes you look more like a traitor because you've got so much emotion and you're like, but I am a faithful.
I know. There was just when that happened, there was no way. And I do wonder if they keep the seer in for next series, I wonder if people are going to actually want to have the seer power after what's happened with Frankie.
Yeah.
Because I think if I was to go in, I probably wouldn't want the seer power knowing what's happened on this previous season. Do you know what I mean? So I wonder how that will play out for the next series, because now that we've seen how wrong it can go, essentially, you're going to be like, I'm good. I'm just going to sit this one out.
No, I pass the seer power to you.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you can't do that.
Pass the parcel kind of situation.
I guess the only way you'd want the seer power is if you were a traitor.
Yeah,
like that would be really handy. If one of the traitors won it, then that would be better for you.
Yeah, I think that's probably the only way. But if I was a faithful and I won the seer power, I probably wouldn't want it in case I pick a traitor because you've basically condemned yourself.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I don't know, I just feel like, I wonder how season 2, well, the next season is going to play out. Season 4, isn't it?
Season 4, yeah.
Yeah, how season 4 is going to play out now that if they reintroduce the seer power, because of how sideways this one went, you know?
Yeah.
I'd love to be in the producer, like when that was all going on, when they found out that Frankie was going to choose Charlotte, whether the producers actually pushed Frankie into doing that, or whether they suggested that, or whether the producers were like, what is going to happen? I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in that moment.
Yeah, it would have been so interesting to see that.
Just to see how they were like, oh no, this is completely not what we thought was going to happen. Or it's just very interesting.
Yeah, no, totally. So while we're talking about the traitors, I've actually been thinking of a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
So out of the two of us, who do you think would make a better faithful, and who do you think would be a better traitor?
I think you'd be quite a good faithful.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd be a very good traitor.
No, I'd be rubbish at
You're
that.
too like sunshine yellow.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And I'm a really bad liar.
Yeah, you're not very good at lying.
Yeah.
No, I think I'd be quite a good traitor.
I think you would.
I don't think I would love the lying part, but I think I'd be good at it.
Yeah, I agree. I think you would make a good traitor. Quite cunning.
Quite cunning. Okay. Yeah.
But the problem is, I think the only thing you'd find is that, say if we went in together, like, do you remember a couple of seasons ago when that boyfriend and girlfriend, they went in together?
Oh, I mean, that went sideways.
Yeah, because the guy just like stood up in front of the whole dining room and was like, this is my girlfriend. And she was just like, what are you doing?
That would be me. Yeah. I'd be like, shut up, Rory.
I don't really get why he did it, but anyway.
Yeah.
I think, though, you would come up to me and be like, I'm a traitor.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, cool. Don't kill me.
I'd be like, I'm a traitor. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah. And I'd be like, I'm a faithful.
I'd be like, I know.
Yeah. I guess then that leads me into my next question for you. So you think you'd be a better traitor, which I do agree with. Because I think I'd
Definitely.
I just feel like I'd be like, you know, like Freddie, when he got forced to be a traitor.
Yeah.
That's how I'd be like. I would have done the exact same thing Freddie did, where Leanne was like, but how, you know, only Charlotte, Alexander, and Frankie know I've got the shield. How do you...
Mina told me.
How do you know? Yeah, well, Mina told me. But I didn't tell Mina. No. We spoke about it in the kitchen. And he was like, and then everyone was like, yeah, but she got banished. She'd left the castle at that point. He's like, no.
Literally, the way that Mina came up in that story was exactly what you would do. I could see you having that kind of a reaction, just being like, yeah, but like, she did tell me, so that would be you.
Yeah,
though.
I would.
Yeah.
And I'd just be melting inside.
Yeah.
Being like,
and I'd be sitting there with my head in my hands going, this boy.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, that actually leads me into my next question quite nicely. So if like we're sat at the round table, we're both in it together, and let's say like the heat's coming on us a bit, would you throw me under the bus essentially?
100%.
You would, wouldn't you?
No qualms about it.
Yeah.
Fully. I mean, I'd feel more comfortable throwing you under the bus than throwing anybody else.
Thanks.
Well, yeah, I'd just be like, yes. And what? He's a traitor. Get him out. And I'd be like, oh, no way. Didn't know he wasn't a traitor. What a shock. Yeah, I have no issue doing that.
Yeah.
Because you would, it wouldn't go well if it was the other way around, though.
No.
If you threw me under the bus, I would throw an absolute fit.
You would.
Yeah.
Like it would be pure rage.
Yeah, it would be. But the thing is, I'd have no problem throwing you under the bus because I just know you can't lie. So I'm like, I need to get this boy out as soon as possible because he is going to give up the game for me.
So then if you're starting to throw me under the bus, am I just coming back at you being like, yeah, but
this is why I need to get you out.
You remember what Sophie said 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, because this is what you do. This is what you do, is you just come out with these weird and wonderful, but Mina told me kind of theories. And I'd be like, this is so bad.
And you'd be looking around the table going, see, guys, idiot. That's why he's got to go.
Exactly. Yeah. And I couldn't have it coming out that you and I were married. God, then everybody would be like, what?
What if I just did that? What if I went, okay, everyone voted for me, and then I just went, oh, and by the way, I was married to someone in here.
I'd murder you.
And then I just left.
I'd murder you for real. For real.
For real.
For real. You wouldn't just be murdered in the Traitors. You would be
Rory from the Traitors found dead.
No, you wouldn't do that to me.
No, I wouldn't.
Because you'd have to face my wrath.
Yeah, my wrath. Okay, well, that's good to know. So you would throw me under the bus?
Yeah, I'd have no problem doing it.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
And you'd come out, you'd come out of the Traitors and you'd be on TikTok or something being like, Sophie threw me under the bus. So you would literally go and you'd be milking it and everybody would love you and they'd be like, oh, Sophie, but you would just, thing is, I'm actually doing you a favor because I'd be setting you up to be like, everybody would love you because I'm so horrible to you. And so they'd feel sorry for you. So you'd be able to, milk that after the show. So actually, I'm doing you a favor here.
Right. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So everyone would just love me afterwards.
Yeah, basically.
But wouldn't it be awkward if I'm like recording a TikTok and then you're just in the background being like, what did you just say about me?
Yeah, but you've already told everybody, haven't you, that we're married?
Oh, yeah, true.
So
that's true. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
I do quite like watching, following the Traitors contestants on TikTok.
Like after they've left the show.
It's so interesting because some of them are like exactly who I'd expect and some of them just are a little bit less, I don't know, you see more of their personalities on screen and you think you'd see that through the TikToks as well, but you don't necessarily see that. So I think it's really interesting to see, although love Alexander.
Oh, big fan. Big Alexander fan.
Oh my God.
I was heartbroken when he got
I know,
voted out.
I really wanted him to go through.
Yeah. I just love how he's such a diplomat.
He would always take one for the team.
He would. And I like how he'd always be like quite apologetic. He'd be like, look, I think you're a traitor.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about it.
I know.
Okay, but I've got to vote for someone. And it has to be you. I can't vote for myself.
Ever the diplomat. Yeah. Ever the diplomat.
Ever the diplomat. Got off the train, obviously, in the first.
I know.
Got off the train, in the
Heart
first one.
Heart of gold, that man.
Heart
of gold.
There was actually a scene. Do you remember when they're all in the cages? When the three of them came back, it was like, the three people who'd left the train. They're in the cages, and I think it was Charlotte runs up and puts like some coins in his to bring Alexander down. Yeah. And he just goes, thank you, I don't know you, but thank you. Yeah. And I'm like, heart of gold, that man. Love him.
Love him.
Big fan.
Oh no, he's a good one.
Speaking about them all sort of posting on TikTok and stuff, they the TikTok ban didn't last very long, did it?
Oh my God, that was so funny.
I mean, I felt like it was built up over such a long period of time. Like even back to like, do you remember when the senators were like talking to the CEO of TikTok, just like, so have you ever been to China? And he was just like,
sir, I'm Singaporean.
I'm Singaporean. And he was like, but have you ever thought of China? And he's
no,
like,
I'm Singaporean.
But can you spell China?
Yes, I'm Singaporean.
yes, I'm Singaporean. Yes. And how often today have you thought about China? And it was just so funny. And I think back then we all like memed it so
Are
much.
You
and it was
Chinese?
Yeah. No, I'm Singaporean. And it was just so amazing. Like I think back then, and you were seeing things like that. That was what, like a year ago, over a year, whatever. And you're there like, no, this will never.
I didn't think it would actually go so far as to actually be banned.
No, I remember like saying to you, like, oh, Sophie, I think it might actually get banned, and you were like, no, Rory.
I mean, I just thought there's no way that it would get banned because there's just too much at stake. There's too many livelihoods, creators, businesses on there that make a fair amount of money in the States from TikTok.
Yeah.
I just was like, there's no way they would go so far. I mean, it was basically a game of chicken. Yeah. And I just didn't think that the US government would really just go so far as to ban it. And then when they did, I was like, okay. And then it came back within 5 minutes. And it was like, oh, so we all know who really won there.
I mean, it was quite funny here, wasn't it? Like in the UK, because we all went to bed being like, and I remember you were like, it's gone.
I know.
And like all these creators, and then you were
saying goodbye.
They were all saying goodbye. And then you were saying like, it was really funny because on our TikTok feeds, we started getting like the Aussies came.
The New Zealanders.
The Dutch. Like, the Dutch. Yeah, we were getting all these people. We were like,
I was like, oh, hi. You've been buried amongst all the US, creators for the last X amount of years. Nice to meet you finally.
How's it going? Yeah, look at this.
And then all the US creators came back in like 5 minutes and I was like, oh, bye.
Yeah, and then we never saw anyone else again. Yeah. And literally it was though, wasn't it? It was the next morning we woke up and it was back and it was just like, look, it's all fine now, we're all good. Like,
I mean, too much money at stake. To be completely honest, I think that's why it couldn't ever really be banned full time. There's just too much money at stake. It brings too much to the economy. It's basically the hub of culture.
Yeah.
And
like a load of small businesses in the States really depend on it. It generates billions for them.
The music industry.
Yeah.
Think how impacted the music industry is based on what's trending on TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah, huge. Like, and some artists blow up on there.
Yeah.
That's like where they go.
I mean, currently on the radio, I feel like half the songs on the radio that we're hearing are songs that we heard 2 months ago on TikTok.
Yeah.
So there's just too much, I think, that is basically reliant on TikTok for someone to ban, for a country like the US to ban it.
I mean, do you think, is it actually been banned? Like, has the ban officially been lifted and like gone now, or has it just
No,
been
I think
like
it's just
pushed,
been extended.
sort of just been pushed down the road?
Yeah.
So like we could have this again. There could be like a TikTok ban 2.0 coming.
Well, let's see if it'll last longer than 1.0. But yeah, no, I think it's been I think it's definitely interesting how it's all played out. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I think it's basically that they want a US buyer, essentially.
Well, that's what
own.
that's what Trump was saying, wasn't it? It was like, I'm going to buy, if we own 50% of the market or something of TikTok, or,
Who knows?
the US own it.
Yeah, exactly. But the point being is it's back. The US creators are back.
Yeah.
So it's all good. Yeah. Life is right again.
Life is good. Yeah.
And TikTok is TikToking.
We're ticking on.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
But yes, so yeah, I actually have a game that I wanted to play today.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And I think it's one that you'll quite enjoy.
Yep.
So the game that we have today, I'm calling it the Rotten Tomatoes game.
The Rotten Tomatoes game.
So the premise of the game is I'm going to give a film title that you and I both know. You guys as well should know. If you don't know these film titles, what are you doing?
Where have you been?
Yeah. I then want you to tell me what you think the critic score is. The Tomatometer score. I think that's what they call it on Rotten Tomatoes.
Tomatometer.
I feel like it's the Tomatometer.
The Tomatometer.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's the Tomatometer, which is the critic score, and then there's the popcorn meter, which is the audience score. Yeah. I want you to tell me.
The popometer.
Popcorn.
Popcornometer.
Yes. So I want you basically to tell me what you think the percentage is.
Okay.
And then I'll tell you what it actually is.
Yeah.
Okay. So first one, The Princess Diaries. And remember, you're doing the critic score.
The critic score of The Princess Diaries.
Yeah.
42%.
Oh, why do you think 42%?
I just can't imagine critically that film doing amazingly well. I imagine to like an audience it was quite,
Okay, well, you're close. 49%.
Whoa.
I know.
That's nuts.
And do you know what the audience rating is?
Like 85?
Oh, no, not quite. 68%.
Oh, 68. Okay, fair.
But The Princess Diaries, I mean, iconic film.
It is iconic.
Iconic
Nostalgic.
film. It's just, come on, 49%.
Did you have The Princess Diaries on DVD?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had it on VHS, mate. Oh, yeah. Love that film. Anne Hathaway is my queen.
Yeah,
Queen of
my
Genovia, queen of my life.
Yeah, what is the place called where she's from?
Genovia.
Genovia.
Yes. Yeah. Princess Diaries, great film. Anyways, not that the critics can tell. Sharknado.
Oh, critically, 6%.
Okay. And what do you think the audience score is?
Probably like I think 'cause it's like a cult film, 73%.
Okay. Critically, 77%.
Shut up.
And audience score, 35%.
Oh my God,
Sharknado got higher ratings than The Princess Diaries. What are we doing?
I feel like Sharknado came at a time though when...
No, don't even try. Sharknado getting 77%, The Princess Diaries getting 49%. This is what's wrong with the world.
But Sophie, come on.
This is what's wrong with the world.
Do people want... what does that tell you about? At that time, people just want content.
No, people didn't want content because the people gave it 35%. The critics have got it wrong.
The critics love Sharknado.
Yeah. What? Anyways, so that's Sharknado. Hocus Pocus, what do you think that got?
Ooh. Critic score, I'm going to go with 60%.
Okay.
Audience score, 80%.
Okay. Critic score, 41%.
Oh, what did I say?
60.
Oh, okay.
And the audience score was 72%.
Oh.
Yeah, but
so I was pretty close.
Lower than The Princess Diaries.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, lower than The Princess Diaries.
For the audience score.
No, for the critic score.
For the critic score.
For the critic score. Lower than The Princess Diaries. Lower than Sharknado.
Sharknado is just winning all of it.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, so Hocus Pocus. I love Hocus Pocus. That's a great Halloween film.
Such a good film.
So good.
So good.
But yeah,
so
41% the critics.
Oh, man.
They don't know what
These
they're
people
doing.
have no taste.
They just... They literally
They're
don't.
paid to taste and they don't have taste.
Paid for their taste and have none.
Yeah, honestly.
Exactly.
How much were they paid to give Sharknado that score? That's what I want to know.
£77.
They were given a free copy of Sharknado.
Hey, there we go. Exactly. Right. Okay. Hook.
Oh, great
Love
film.
that film.
So good.
Oh, such a good childhood
Dustin
film.
Hoffman, Robbie Williams.
Robin
Williams.
Robbie Williams would be great, but let me entertain you as a pirate.
Yeah. I just want to rock DJ.
On my boat.
On my boat.
Right. Hook. What do you think it got?
Critic score. I'm going to go with something quite high, actually. I'm going to go with 70% critic score. Audience score, 95. 90.
Ready?
Yep.
29% critic score.
That's what I mean.
29%.
These people have no taste who are reviewing these films.
Audience score, 76%.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, that is still quite high.
Yeah.
Like
really
76%
high.
For the audience score.
Yeah, it's really good because it was a good film.
I'm getting so confused by this list. Why did Sharknado perform better
Then Hook.
than all of the other ones?
I know. All right. Ready for this one?
Yeah.
Taken.
Great
Great film. Great film.
I will find you and I will kill you.
Yeah, that's me as a traitor.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think? What do you think?
I think Taken, the critic score, I'm going to go with 75%. And the audience score, I'm going to go with 82%.
Okay. 60% critic score.
God, it's still like
Barely over halfway.
like better than half though, I guess.
Taken.
Yeah.
The film Taken.
Yeah.
The Liam...
Neeson.
I was about to say Gleason.
Liam
It's not
Gle-
Gleason. It's
The
Neeson.
Liam Gleason film. No.
But yeah, and audience score 85%, so you're pretty spot on there.
Come on. I
Yeah.
mean, that's so good. The only thing with those films, though, I feel, is they did get a bit worse as they went on.
Yeah, but Taken
Like,
one. This is Taken.
I know,
this is the original Taken.
Taken
it's like
one.
saying the Bourne film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Taken 1 was really good. But the Bournes actually, I thought, got better. But
Yeah,
with Taken 1, it was really good. And there's an argument there that's kind of like, should it have just been its own standalone film? Whereas with Taken 2, I just loved how it was like, no, my daughter.
I will find you again.
Yeah, now he's like,
and I will kill you again.
No, he's like, my daughter's like she's going to get taken again, but now she can like use grenades and like she can use pistols and stuff. But it's like, mate, 5 minutes ago she was like riding a pony and now she's like Lara Croft, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Listen, they just were trying to get the better critic score.
That's it. Yeah. They were like, now my daughter can use all this stuff as well.
And the critics were like, yes, 5 points for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But yeah.
Next one.
National Treasure.
Oh, classic.
Yeah.
When they try and steal the Declaration of Independence.
Love it. Nicolas Cage.
I actually love those films.
I love that film.
Yeah. They
I
never
mean,
made a
those films-
third.
No, they didn't.
No, they only made 2, which is a real shame.
Because the critics gave it
20%.
46%. It's not a national treasure, according to the critics.
Oh, I like what you did there.
I
Yeah, that
know.
was good. That was good. But
Thank you. But yeah, 46%.
46%.
Audience score, 76%.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's because people have taste.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
exactly.
These critics, I need to go and have a look at these critics.
I know,
And
they
be
just-
like, who are you?
They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to sit
final.
and we're going to rewatch National Treasure, Princess Diaries.
Oh my God,
We're going to sit,
yeah.
we're going to watch all those, and then we're going
Not
to put Sharknado on.
Sharknado.
Then we're going to put Sharknado on, and we're going to redo our scores. Yeah.
All right. The final one. The Terminator.
The Terminator, I'll be back.
Yes. What do you think the critic score for the
I'll be
Terminator is?
back.
That was a wicked sort
Yeah,
of
if
reference.
anyone's been seeing that. I haven't actually seen it. It's
Me
just
and Buck.
Me and Buck, I'll be back. So
a
I just
real
I
crossover
only
there.
did that for Sophie because I don't
liked
even
it.
really fully get what it means, but I just say it a lot. Anyway, back to your question.
Yeah.
The critics score for the Terminator, the first one. I'm actually going to go with 40%.
Okay.
Audience score 65?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
100%
For the critics?
For the critics score
Wow.
for the Terminator. And 89%.
To
for
be
the
fair,
audience
yeah,
score.
I feel like I did actually mess that up quite badly. I'm like, that film is amazing.
Better than Hook?
Yeah, better than
Better than
Hook.
the Princess Diaries?
Definitely better than the Princess Diaries.
Right, but national treasure.
I mean, yeah, you could
Taken?
argue that one. Taken. I mean, you could argue that one. But
The Terminator.
but you have to remember the Terminator came out. I think was it the late 70s? It came out or is it
86?
Was it 86?
I think it was 86.
Oh wow. Okay, so it came out in that sort of period, and I guess it was like, it was an amazing feat in cinema when you saw like, the robots and the machines and the mechanics of it. It was like
Nah, Princess Diaries. That was better.
I feel like you're giving a biased opinion.
No.
No. What are you on about? No.
No.
Great. That's it. Just no.
Just no.
Yeah.
I've never seen the Terminator.
Now I
either.
know how you'd be if you were a traitor. Sophie, are you a traitor?
No.
Cool. Right.
End of story.
Yeah. Why do I need to see? If I was Alexander, I'd be like, okay, yeah, no problem. She said no, so it's fine.
I'd be like, I like you. You can stay.
Yeah. You'd be like, you're a diplomat. I like you. You can stay. Yeah.
He'd be like, why am I being kept around?
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah, no idea.
No idea.
Why haven't I been murdered yet? I wonder why. Well, I really like that game. That was fun. But I have to admit,
Sharknado,
the critics,
77%
Yeah,
is just ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It's doing better than the Princess Diaries.
The critics don't know what they're doing. The critics don't know what they're doing. I don't know what I'm saying. Doing.
Oh dear.
Well,
on that bombshell.
Yeah. I feel like that's becoming like our slogan.
But it's because you've stolen it from Top Gear.
Have I?
Yeah.
Was that a Top Gear thing?
Yeah. That's what they say. It's what Jeremy Clarkson says at the end. And on that bombshell.
And on that bombshell.
Yeah.
Right. Well, on that note, how about that one?
Yeah. But yes, thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And please do leave us a review, because Rory was trying to leave a review on Apple Podcasts and he realised he can't do that because it then comes up with his name and that would be really just quite sad.
Yeah, and I'm like, and it's like a written review I was going to do, right?
Yeah.
I was going to do a written one,
You know,
but then I'm like, if it just comes up with Rory Nichols, might be a bit
Rory
conceited.
Nichols reviewed his
Is that the
own
word?
podcast.
Conceited?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's it. So please leave us one, because it would be really helpful and would avoid Rory having to leave one.
Avoid the embarrassment of me having to review my own show, being like, God, love what you talked about in this episode.
Although if you're the critic who reviewed Sharknado, don't leave a comment.
No, if you're the critic who reviews Sharknado, we want you to come on this show. We want to talk to you and be like, what is your background?
Yeah.
We want to know. What do you think of Sharknado again? 2. What do you think of all of them?
Is there a Sharknado 2?
Oh yeah, there's 5.
Great. Well, on that bombshell, we will see you next week on Thursday.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.